away. The other three all sticking on A, at least for now.
30 seconds left.
Quick entry. Looking to try and go through. Leading the charge. This fight is so awkward. Just one of the ugliest fights I think I've ever seen. Luckily, Zyppan is going to find that opener for the team and get them into that afterplant. No real response coming just yet, and this retake's already looking tough.
It's came with more of a test of left-clicking prowess, I think, more than anything else, rather than aim itself. But it has come down to this point, as you can see, where things are stacking up against them here. Zyppan finds yet another, completely shutting them out, but AvovA almost bringing things back, at least for a second on site itself. 3 players still stacked up against him, though. This has got NAVI written all over it.
Yeah, they've got gravity well for the afterplant, and, well, SUYGETSU already going to be swinging out as well, so...
He starts about by NAVI so far. We need to show a little more aggression. As out comes the ult from Zyppan, they march their way in towards the A site here, forcing these members of Heretics back, and they've got site control.
Spike.
I can get used to this.
Oh, I want to see Gecko every single game now.
Keep on watching NAVI, and I'm sure you will. They've played him, I think, across 4 maps so far.
Well, retake being attempted. Cove put down will at least try and bait them in to use some of that utility they had left on the spike. SUYGETSU coming in on the flank is going to drop one, but they're just trying to stick to the defuse. Zyppan, though, with an amazing flash. Just gets 2 completely blinded and just lands the headshot as well. If they lose this one, I almost call it done. They've got so much map control. They know exactly where they're splitting through. If they can deny Shao from here, they have such an opportunity. But already cNed's going to get the opener. This gives them a good chance to plant. Boo might be able to end the round. They just get the spike plant in. And now it's left to cNed and Shao, who's found another kill. This is starting to fall apart for Heretics.
It is as well. I mean, really, that Killjoy lockdown was the big difference maker because it forced 2 players in towards A main and in towards the waiting arms of Shao. Now, he's only managed to find 1, but he's kept himself alive, which means there's another angle to play up here. But they don't know about cNed towards one side.
In the early rounds, they were blitzed every time they attempted this. Just allowing the execution to come through from NAVI has never been a particularly good plan. It started off well. Wingman looking like he's going to get them the plant as well. Even still, though, this time Heretics have managed to hold on to some sort of advantage, although SUYGETSU's going to go pushing and grant them back into a 3v3.
Well, for a second they get Zyppan back up, but no, there's 2 kills coming back. It's a 3 versus 2 for the side of Heretics, and by the looks of it, cNed wants no more to do with this. He's getting out of dodge. Round. And Shao may even look to do the same. Can he get away with it in time, though, is the question.
They've got the grab wall. They've got the grab wall, so he can definitely slow them enough. It's just whether or not there's expectation on the other side that this could be coming through, and they're already back on that defuse.
Is it enough to keep this held down here? Absolutely seems to be the case. They're still challenging them with guns, and AvovA knows that he's going to struggle here. Just being toyed with by cNed for the most part. It's Shao on an easy 2K closeout. NAVI up to 9-2. Half by round coming in as well for Heretics here. It's going to be a bit of a rough one. Oh my God, how on earth has keloqz got that close? Does a big bit of damage in towards the back line, supported by mixwell. And even with these inferior weapons, they've started to battle their way back in. But just like that, it's equalized ever so slightly. Only a 3 versus 2 advantage for Heretics.
I like this from mixwell, though.
Push. Now, sure, it forces that 2v2 for a short amount of time, of which maybe you fancy the attackers to come out on top. They do bring out the ult. They still got the Astra ult on side as well. They've got options to play with top. Here it comes.
Placing down a couple of smokes just to get them into the site. Boo, he managed to just stick around that little bit longer, sitting back towards the spawn. It's going to leave it onto Shao, and I wonder if they're going to want to stop him before he can get this plant, because this is a man that has been fearsome for many years in clutches.
Well, if there's any time to live up to your name, it's about now. And this time round, we are going to see this come through, but will they see it? Yes, they will. The cove goes up, the wall goes up, everything is in his way. He can try his absolute best, but he won't find him in time. Heretics managed to pull it back to at least range. That's what she's done.
So you're calling Kakuka a glory hunter, is what you're
Absolutely
saying.
is what I'm calling it.
Wow,
and it's a great time to be a glory hunter.
Ooh, a little bit of damage done through. They've taken the space. NAVI almost forced immediately to just try and play a retake at this point, so there are going to be the afterplant set up.
I don't think they mind, because a lot of the utility was invested coming in on the attacking side there. Sure enough, Zyppan will not be slowed down, finds 2 before keloqz. Equally another player that will not stop in that first half is carrying on here into the second. A little bit of a wall ban coming into keloqz to shut him down. 2 left standing to the side of Heretics. Mixwell finds 1. Instant trade out. Good team play by NAVI and pushing forward with numbers.
He doesn't have the greatest spot for this. It's just going to be expectations, but they don't know that he's here, and Shao is still going to trade things out. Yeah, my worry was if they just get on the defuse.
You know, both teams like this map as well. If there was ever going to be a good showing out of Heretics, really it was going to be here. But right now, it's still NAVI. Oh my god. Looking like a game of ranks here.
And the rest of the team is sitting back. Nobody looking to try and steal it, trying to help him out.
But they think yes. Shao. They even know that he's here? I'm guessing no. A couple of trades come in between the two sides as well. I mean, for now at least, Heretics have established some site control, but can't look to get the plant down just yet as the last two members look back in. Sure, it's a 3 versus 2. keloqz, well, like I said, he has the knives online if he wants them. Don't think he'll pop them out here as well, or can with a rifle at least for this round. Who wins out in this 2v2, Tom?
Well, I have to go
30
NAVI,
seconds
but
left.
we'll see what happens. Zyppan already putting the first nail in the coffin. Left on Taboo. Full HP at least. keloqz did what he could, but this needs a miracle, and the timing couldn't be any worse. It's another trouncing for Heretics as they face NAVI on their map choice. Pearl looking all too easy. Back in, not from the A side.
I felt this is such a critical angle to hold as well and be able to, contest as the own playing out towards one side, but on site is where it's all going down. Angel and Shao get one back apiece so far, and at this point it's ringed around to Smokey. It's two of them going back and forth, and it's AvovA to come out on top, securing at least out towards Ruins here, Rubble, sorry, and now we'll see what the push comes through like. On site itself, NAVI have that control, it's Boo to fall, and I'm wondering if at this point, Heretics are saying it's done and dusted and we're getting out of dodge.
Yeah, I don't know if there's even going to be enough time. It won't matter anyway because AvovA's landed the shot before they can even get anywhere near
mixwell.
it. And mixwell is going to be there at the end to cNed waiting around that little bit longer just to try and catch them. It doesn't really matter that he gets detained, he escapes, that's the main thing. Now the lurking Zeek in mid has been taken out, finally having a man advantage, but with the Viper's Pit now being expended as well, they are using everything on the Heretic side.
Understandably so, because again, NAVI have invested so much in trying to win this round at the back of the timeout. Heretics do not want to give them an inch of room to breathe. Now NAVI have found themselves a couple of kills back here and may still be in with a chance, but can they play around these ults effectively? It's a 3v2, but Boo on the flank has got 2. That's the kind of shutdown you're looking for.
The thing is, they're going to be so low. Already just spammed out by Boo. And as the pit drops by mixwell, he's going to take their heads clean off. Of Heretics, maybe hoping that the presence on one side of the map is going to give them space elsewhere. Nice shot from Zeek. Will drop one. And now with his teammate making that move in towards the C site, potential realization that this is clear. They could have some space, but they're rotating forward into more and more players.
This is looking real good for NAVI here again, playing on the lesser gun round too. Coming out pretty big, but there's still every chance it doesn't go their way. cNed doing work with the Guardian into this round, and it looks like NAVI have battled their way back.
3 players all sat on the spike, just
all with
waiting
rifles
for
now
him.
as well. Really geared up and made sure to loot the dead bodies of the Heretics players. Finally, they will get that first round on the board. Look, it took Heretics a bit of a time on the first map as well.
30 seconds left.
Feels chill.
Orb being taken, pressure being put in once again, lockdown likely to force them back, and for Zyppan especially, he's in a bit of a tough spot, I say that. He comes out on top. The push forward from Shao, however, is not going to deem the same results.
And they managed to force them all the way back in towards spawn here. NAVI, all 4 players now gathering up here towards heaven and trying to force their way 1 down towards pit, but also 2 on towards...
They really even go for this. They've got to clear AvovA, and that has been impossible. cNed's going to find 1, but the trade is instantaneous. And now he's the only one remaining versus 3. And we've already seen how filthy some of the afterplants will be. Not even needed. keloqz, something.
It doesn't really feel like, I mean, being honest with you, with how stompy these rounds have been, it feels like they don't deserve that kind of scoreline. Like a 9-3 might be the one.
Oh, it's so aggressive from cNed, but he gets nothing for it. They deny them completely in this early aggression, and Shao's just going to go for a miracle play, stuck in the mud with no friends left.
Yeah, 1 at least at range here, Angel. But I think we can see exactly which way this round is going, unless there is a miraculous 2v4. Angel goes nice and low, still committing pretty...
Information needed for SUYGETSU. This kill's for free, but it's based on SUYGETSU just being in a bit of a surprising position.
I mean, SUYGETSU, as you say, a bit of a surprise, but the wall might do just enough. The thing is, they know that they've planted into the full spot so many times. This time doesn't even bother trying to spray through the wall to find his man. Instead, does he dare? Waits for it to go down, finds two for himself. Oh my god, may have almost turned his back on its head, but he has no idea where Zeek is coming from. Gonna tap, looking the wrong way. Does he look high? On comes the alarm bot, nothing really coming off the back of that, but that's all the information that he needs to try and turn this on its head. But he's got a bait, and Zeek! What a peek coming out.
Boo's going to try and hold them in towards tree. 2 players ready and waiting. The flash leaves so many blind, but it's actually a good trade. In fact, mixwell comes back with 3! That looked like a round where NAVI had them dead to rights, but mixwell comes up huge. So much still to do. No utility to play with. The mixwell is going to close things out with a quad kill. What a round from him, as said, though, in the fact that AvovA has already pushed all the way through C.
Okay, I mean, trying to make this one work out. The question is he coming on the backside of it all as well, or do NAVI get site control in time? You know, we saw on the defensive side they had no mollies, no real ability to slow down the attackers of Heretics, but on the attacking side, they have things like Shao, as we mentioned earlier on, the ability to do a good bit of work on this Sova. I really want to see them put this comp to good use. They've picked it for this reason. If it's going to shine, it's got to be early in this second half.
Yeah, well, it's got to be early or it won't be at all. They'll be running out of rounds to play with. Zeek only going to be able to find one, and the problem is with these deep players, they have to clear this. Oh, an interesting peek from cNed. Maybe a little bit over-aggressive. And Boo just gifted a kill. This was looking like a done deal for NAVI. Now, player already on the spike. They're not reacting to this at all. In fact, he's just going to stick it all the way. This is the AvovA special, but he just goes down at the last second. They managed to deny. It was looking like another round.
And NAVI, I feel, have just been a little bit slow. They're taking so much time to figure out what's going on, despite seeing no utility coming towards them. Nothing to suggest information is there and ready to be collected. But Angel marches on in, finds one for himself, seeking to a trade AvovA there too. And it looked like a bit of a crossfire on towards NAVI, but they're coming away with as many of the kills as they can possibly collect. A 3 versus 2, and now just Boo and mixwell to push it off the flank. And this could work out. They don't even know they're here, I think.
Wallbang is all they can really go for. mixwell's going to get it.
Down A.
20 seconds now. The pressure back onto NAVI. If they get it into an afterplant, it's a completely different story. They're going to have to reposition the spike, and in the meantime, we've seen a rotation coming through from the heavens. Boo not with the best gun, but at this range it's possible. However, mixwell again is going to need a clutch.
Seen it with that shutdown finally warming into things. Had a really rough first half, and there he is closing out a second.
On the other side.
Just for the timeout as well. They have one coming in through spawn and towards the omen. They saw it and they followed it. So they know now that the full hit is coming in towards C. You can see a potential flank coming in, but that means really the attackers need to go quickly. They push it over the utility. keloqz had a beautiful chance at a 2 or a 3, but found absolutely nothing. A 5v4 for NAVI as they push in deep here. It's a bit of a trade coming in on towards the backside, but NAVI once again have full control, and Zeek on the flank towards Bound is all by himself.
First goes his way. Zyppan tagged. A hell of a lot to do, but some lower players on the other side, and anybody giving him an angle could definitely risk this round, but you can see how passive the remainder are being. Just looking to watch on the cross. Counter flashes being thrown in, the angle being watched as well, and every single time he goes to the peak, he's chipped away. Elevated angle from Angel as well. Nobody watching that flank, at least initially. Very fast again on the rotation, but it's these entries in. Boo needs to get something that little bit more. It sounds harsh, but he needed to try and slow them down. Successfully, it seems that they now have a man advantage, and Angel goes back for more, leaving Shao once again 1v2.
Oh, we've been here before, haven't we? Bit of work to do here. Last time around, keloqz pulled the rug out from underneath him and made it uncomfortable. Flash coming in from Zeek, doesn't quite connect. Still has the gun up. But where does the push come in? No one yet rotating over towards door, and in fact, they're stacking up together here. What he's got to try and do is isolate this into a couple of separate fights. Another one at close range as well. Bolt gets taken away. He's going to have to try and push on through here. keloqz for a second trying to bait out the defuse too. Nothing to come of it, and sure enough,
It's already there. Of course, he doesn't have a lot to play with. Like, the expectation here is low, but he can buy them a little bit of extra time. mixwell completely blind in the corner. In fact, they're going to go running into the snake bite, made vulnerable by it. A chance, but just off the time alone, this is starting to get very awkward. Trades back again into a 2 versus 2. Real potential here. And are they really going to go back towards the B site this late in the round? If they were caught for even a second, there was a chance for this to go off the time.
I just can't help but ignore that once again, it's Shao and keloqz stuck in one of these situations. keloqz has had his number every single time. Shao this time round finds him, but it's a 1 versus 1. Two completely fresh players enter the arena. Who wins it out? It's Boo to close it down. Map 3 to decide which way this series goes.
Well, I have to say expectations going into this map were low. After the first one, I was maybe expecting another blitz to come through, but Heretics not only have steadied themselves, they have come back with a vengeance, taking a map off of NAVI and now heading into this third and final with a genuine chance of winning this series.
Try and slowly work their way through tree here, and there is no utility to stop them on their march on through. This could get real messy. It's Angel to start things off, goes aggressive and finds one for himself, trying to dodge away. Almost found Mixwell, but he just about pulls it out, and keloqz stacks up 2, but it's a 3 versus 2 for NAVI, and they still have full heaven control.
I don't know that Mixwell has managed to creep below, but with how much HP he has, it would have to be a pretty decent miracle in taking the first shot. I almost feel like he needed to hold a little bit longer, being spammed through the wall. 1 HP is all that's standing. And all utility will dissipate, but the same can be said from the other side. A little bit of info to be had, and a nice entry onto cNed garners them the entirety of the A site.
Absolutely, at least getting one back on that side. It's Angel bringing down Zeek, so that's SUYGETSU, the difference maker in some way, being offline too. And keloqz caught in between a rock and a hard place there, gets domed down from below. Site control established, but the numbers of Heretics are dwindling. They're down to just 2 against 4. Zyppan again re-establishing control, getting control of tree, and flooding in towards the site. Didn't know about Mixwell. He manages to find one before being traded, and the last one left standing is Boo. Turret now taken offline, has got to find a way to march his way forwards here.
Oh, no.
Has the right sort of idea, but nothing more to be said for it. So SUYGETSU gets the closing kill. Really wondered how long we go for there. That was your round to take. It's also maybe keloqz's. Straight in already, dashing in off the back of this Jets. Looking to establish that site control that we know he loves to do oh so much, but has to make a kill off it, and makes it far too easy for SUYGETSU by enlarging that target by a scale of about 10. Up in his face, shut down. Boo back onto the other side, but yet again, NAVI maintain the numbers advantage.
Oh, they won the spike. He's just picking up guns.
Throw it somewhere else, quick.
He's been caught in a seize as well. Wallbang from cNed. As clean as ever. Will AvovA ever get the spike back? Oh no! No! He's just been tapped through the smoke by Shao.
On the last...
keloqz got hit by him. Well, I don't think Zeek was ever expecting an operator.
Oh,
okay, it's gone. It's gone.
Cleared out there thanks to the knife, but now they're on the march on through, playing nice and slow as Zeek finds SUYGETSU on the march on through. Elsewhere, there's still a battle going down, but the real action is taking place here on side. cNed gets the kill out. We saw a couple of those last week. It's 3 quick kills for NAVI and a total wipeout as Zeek is left with all but 1 point of HP.
And they're just running it down. Go for it. Pick up the pace. Try and put pressure in. There's a trip. He's gone over it, but it doesn't even matter. Shao's picked him out of the sky. Boo, however, has done well, though. He's made this one competitive. It's awkward for Shao, but he's still standing. Who's surprised?
I feel like it's such a good read, and cNed's going to pick him off a front here. Pops the ult out as well.
Shao died.
Absolutely disgusting. Oh no, Shao went down. How will they ever recover? cNed making it look easy.
So his util is offline, at least for the next few seconds. 1 player detained as well, but SUYGETSU is still in this corner. They're hunting him down, taking some damage from the fragment, but he's still surviving in these backlines. They have not cleared him.
They have no clue. As soon as the smoke goes down, it's going to be hell to pay. Sure enough, in fact, no, you even got to get involved because on top is where the death comes from. And now SUYGETSU can strike. Finds one for himself. Pinged up on the other side of Gen here. And AvovA, he knows that his days are numbered if he's not too careful. Has a little bit of support coming in from Zeek. Down to a 2v2. Shao will not be stopped. And no, I say that, yes, he will. AvovA. I'm not 100% sure where this hit is coming in, but they'll be aware very, very soon. Zyppan will be the first one to make the call, I imagine. Looks down towards Garden, an easy tap onto the head of Zeek. But now he's got to choose his rotation angle. Does he push down towards tree or double back in towards heaven? Has to decide fastest, so the spike is now down. They know he's here, surely.
They're all going to pressure.
No.
It's a brawl out on short.
No.
The battle for tree is actually the main contest, and Shao is wiping them out. It's left Mixwell completely blinded. Retakes good. Boo is still on the other side of the map, clearly still in doubt. that there is somebody there that he has to deal with. It is taking ages for this rotation to come in.
At this point, since he's in his demons, as he knows this map has not been kind to them. Try to push forward, cNed's the first one to fall down as we see Heretics stack up and push quite deep in towards Speedway, but can they get all the way through without being stopped? Really, SUYGETSU was the one to stop them, and he couldn't quite do it. There's 2 left standing for NAVI though, and AvovA's got to do it all. A 1v1, AvovA clutches it out with a big 3K. We spoke about Heretics just completely in the dumpster after spending to keep themselves competitive in that second round, and now everything's kind of gone against them. Here comes this push in as well. Natus swarm down to at least separate the 2 teams temporarily, but Boo should be absolutely on toast, and he is. cNed brings him down, only 3 left standing here for the side of Heretics, or it's a 2-1 defeat, and their season continues looking bad.
They know at least where a couple of these players are. Mixwell trying to sell somewhat of a dream, but he goes down, left all onto Zeek, and it is an easy cleanup from SUYGETSU. A 13-2 blitzing of the side of Team Heretics, and while it almost looking like a similar story to map number 1, the maps we expected NAVI to be good at, they were incredibly good at. And sure, maybe they've got a little bit of work to do on their Lotus, but hey, they've been testing things on that map over the last couple of weeks. Angel said it himself, if they're gonna test things, they have to test it now. But on the maps where they are prepared, the maps where they're maybe running some slightly more normal comps,